Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Ballava Girivaradhari Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Ballava Girivaradhari Gopijana Ballava Girivaradhari Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivakacharya Sarasri Srimad His Divine Grace Sri Lace Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Shri Guru Parampara Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Shri Lokanath Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Srimad Bhagavad-gītā Ki Jai All glories to assembled devotees Ki Jai All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga Go Premananda Hari Hari Bo Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya All together please. Om Jnana Timirandasya Ganandana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sabidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yukta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rūpam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Prijana Sahitam Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Kṛṣṇa Padang Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Kṛṣṇa Karuna Sindhu Dīnabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapcha Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhana Sudadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Bhavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So reading from Srimad Bhagavad-gītā as it is, translation and commentary Srila Prabhupada, text number 51, 11th chapter, the universal form. So, very dramatic, right? In one way, this is the center of the Gita, because Krishna, this is dramatic. If you saw the Virat Rupa, you would not forget Krishna. But, yes. So, please repeat. Arjuna uvāca dṛṣṭvedaṁ mānuṣaṁ rūpam tava saumyaṁ Janārdana idānīm asmi saṁvṛttaḥ sa-cetāḥ prakṛtim gataḥ. Okay, go ahead.
Arjuna uvāca dṛṣṭvedaṁ mānuṣaṁ rūpam tava saumyam Janārdana idānīm asmi saṁvṛttaḥ sa-cetāḥ prakṛtim gataḥ. Arjuna uvāca
dṛṣṭvedaṁ mānuṣaṁ rūpam
dṛṣṭvedaṁ mānuṣaṁ rūpam
tava saumyam Janārdana
idānīm asmi
idānīm saṁvṛttaḥ sa-cetāḥ prakṛtim
gataḥ.
Arjuna uvāca
dṛṣṭvedaṁ
mānuṣaṁ rūpam
tava
saumyam Janārdana
idānīm asmi saṁvṛttaḥ sa-cetāḥ prakṛtim gataḥ.
So, word for word, please repeat. Arjuna uvāca, Arjuna said, dṛṣṭvā, seeing, idam, this, mānuṣaṁ, human, rūpam, form, tava, your, saumyam, very beautiful, Janārdana, O chastiser of the enemies, idānīm, now, asmi, I am, saṁvṛttaḥ, settled, sa-cetāḥ, in my consciousness, prakṛtim, to my own nature, gataḥ, returned. So, translation Srila Prabhupada. When Arjuna thus saw Kṛṣṇa in his original form, he said, O Janārdana, seeing this human-like form, so very beautiful, I am now composed in mind, and I am restored to my original nature. So, please repeat. When Arjuna thus saw Kṛṣṇa in his original form, he said, O Janārdana, seeing this human-like form, so very beautiful, I am now composed in mind, and I am restored to my original nature. Purport Srila Prabhupada. Here the words mānuṣaṁ rūpam clearly indicate the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be originally two-handed. Those who deride Kṛṣṇa as if he were an ordinary person are shown here to be ignorant of his divine nature. If Kṛṣṇa is like an ordinary human being, then how is it possible for him to show the universal form and again to show the four-handed Narayan form? So it is very clearly stated in the Bhagavad-gītā that one who thinks that Kṛṣṇa is an ordinary person and who misguides the reader by claiming that it is the impersonal Brahman within Kṛṣṇa speaking is doing the greatest injustice. Kṛṣṇa has actually shown his universal form and his four-handed form, Vishnu form. So how can he be an ordinary being? Pure devotee is not confused by misguiding documentaries on Bhagavad-gītā because he knows what is what. The original verses of Bhagavad-gītā are as clear as sun. They do not require lamplight from foolish commentators. Arjuna uvāca, dṛṣṭvedaṁ, mānuṣaṁ rūpam, tava saumyam, Janārdana. Idānīm asmi saṁvṛttaḥ sa-cetāḥ prakṛtim gataḥ. When Arjuna thus saw Kṛṣṇa in his original form, he said, "O Janārdana, seeing this human-like form, so very beautiful, I am now composed in mind, and I am restored to my original nature." Mukam karochi vācālam pangam laite grib yad kripa tamaham bande Sri Guru Janārdana. So, in the Purport, Prabhupada gives the three forms. The Virat Rupa, we discussed that last week from Bhagavatam, how the Virat Rupa is the universal form. The 14 worlds, starting from Brahmaloka, Tapaloka, Janaloka, Mahaloka, Swagaloka, Bhurloka, Bhuloka, Atala Vitala, Sutala, Mahatala, Tala, Patala, and below that Narak, but that's not considered one of the lokas. So the 14 worlds, they are different 14 parts of the body, of the Virat Pruta. And it was explained, we quoted last week, that the different elements are first produced within the universal egg, each universe is like a coconut with different layers going outward. Within that there is the Pancha Bhuta, earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and ahankara. But they compose the universal form. First the mouth appears of the universal form, then the nostrils, then the eyes, then the ears, the skin, all these things. So the universe, this is allegorical, it's there in the 3rd canto of the Bhagavatam, we did it. And then it is explained, but all the devatas entered into the universal form, but it didn't get up. But when the Supreme Lord entered into the universal form, then the planetary systems and so on and so forth. So when we read those parts of the Bhagavatam, and the Gita here, we should understand that this kind of form, though we may visualize it after reading, we should understand that our visualization is less than the actual form. Like a picture, a painting. We may look at Sukadeva Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj, and this evokes, but is that an actual description to the event? It is evocative. It is giving us an idea. Just the same here, we have Mahaprabhu. It is giving us an idea. So sometimes in the Bhagavatam there's description of the layout of the universal form, so on and forth. And how Bhuloka, we're on Bhuloka, the region of the grossest element, earth, which is the center. There's 7 above and 6 below. So A painter may, oh look, there are elephants supporting, and they put the 4 elephants, and below is kurma, and so on and so forth. And we look at the painting and we think, oh, that's how it is. No, that is how the artist has represented it. But the pastimes of Kṛṣṇa, the Leela, the Shakti of Kṛṣṇa is unlimited. And it has to be properly understood by purified consciousness. And not only that, atakshri Kṛṣṇa namadi na bhavad grayam indriyai. You know this from Rupa Goswami's, that the name, form, quality, pastimes of Kṛṣṇa, they are not conceivable to the material mind. But that does not mean that we do not, our mind, our consciousness, saumyaṁ, to the Supreme Lord, because that purifies us. But we should understand that our Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Pada Sevanam are, Navavida Bhakti, the 9 items of Bhakti, that these do not actually reveal the Supreme Lord in full. What they are is an application, and they are meant to evoke the mercy of the Lord. Do you understand? That ultimately the Supreme Lord reveals himself to the devotee, not because the devotee has studied and meditated on the Supreme Lord, in the sense that he is forcing the Supreme Lord and the descriptions in the Bhagavatam of the Supreme Lord to appear in a mechanical way. That is Kama-mimamsa philosophy of Janmani. One of the 6 darshans on the Vedanta Sutra. So Kama-mimamsa, their idea is, I perform a Vishnu yagya and Vishnu must give me the result. I'm offering so much ghee, milk, doodh, grains to Vishnu, and I must get the result. So that is a mechanical conception. It means that the Supreme Lord is subordinate to your yajna. But the 6th darshan, upasana, is by Vedavyas, and that is the sublime understanding of the Vedic knowledge. And that explains that the Supreme Lord, yes, he responds to our sadhana bhakti, or our yajna, or our karma kanda, or our jnana kanda activities and our study. But he does not respond because he has to. He responds out of his mercy. You understand? And how does he respond? He responds within the consciousness of the devotee. Because the consciousness of the devotee is chit. It is the emanation of the soul. It is chit shakti. But in the material world, prakriti stani kashati, it's polluted. Ceturdapana marjanam. The first effect of chanting is to purify the mind. When the mind means consciousness, when the consciousness is purified, then it becomes the instrument by which Kṛṣṇa is understood. Is not understood through the material senses, but Kṛṣṇa reveals himself. And in the beginning of the Bhagavad-gītā here, Kṛṣṇa says to Arjuna, look, I'm going to reveal to you the universal form, but first I'm giving you divya, dṛṣṭvā. I'm giving you divine vision. I'm going to manifest this before your consciousness. You may be a tiny spirit soul, but Kṛṣṇa is not restricted by that. He is unlimited Shakti, and though he is unlimited, he is param tattva, the absolute truth. By his Shakti, by his desire, he can make himself understood to the individual soul. So, when we do sadhana bhakti and upasana, so on and so forth, we should understand that I am applying for the mercy of Kṛṣṇa. But it's not like a marketplace where I go and I pay 100 rupees and I get so much atta. I pay and I get. No, it is the mercy of Kṛṣṇa. So Lord Chaitanya is Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. He is giving prem out of his mercy. And he is giving it willingly and with great desire. At the beginning of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it says that Lord Chaitanya broke open the storehouse of Krishna Prem, and he's standing at the gate. I am taking this Krishna Prem, but I'm full now. Who will take from me? So Krishna is actually disposed to giving us mercy. But who will take? That means, who will take you? I'm asking you, do you want to take? And if you desire, I will give. Yetam mam prapadyante. If you desire Krishna Prem, Krishna will give. Bhajatam priti purvakam. Worship Krishna with love, and Krishna will reciprocate with love. So though we do so many services and chanting and this and that, we should always remember that the ultimate principle is that Krishna will respond. But we should perform all our services in the temple or outside the temple or anywhere with the understanding, not in a mechanical way, but as an offering to the Supreme Lord. It's in the Gita, Yajna tapasa, that yajna, offering to Krishna, dana, charity in suitable positions, tapasya, following regulative principles, chanting, living pure life, they should never be given up because they purify even the great soul. So we are making ourselves ready. So the first way that Krishna manifests within the consciousness is bhava. Krishna manifests in the consciousness first in the devotee realizes the presence of Krishna. Right? Krishna has his form. Here, there is the Virat Rupa, the four-armed Narayan form. You're all experienced devotees. You know. That's Aishwarya. And Krishna is Madhurya Leela. He is the honey form, the most beautiful, as it says here. So those forms manifest. But the first darshan of Krishna is in the form of bhava. The devotee feels bhava within the heart because he's feeling the presence of Krishna. The presence of Krishna is becoming manifest. So, when we're performing sadhana bhakti, we should do with bhajatam priti purvakam and with lolam. Krishna, please manifest by your mercy. Not because I deserve it, because I've followed Ekadashi nicely or this or that. No, by your mercy. If we appeal to the mercy of Krishna, then Krishna responds. But Krishna, there's in the Shastra, that Krishna may give you so many material things, so yes, good business, this, your daughter's married, this and that. But he's a little slow to give himself. We discussed this 4 or 5 weeks ago. Why? Because when Krishna gives prem to a devotee, Krishna prema, he's captured by that devotee. He becomes captured. So it is okay for Krishna, supreme opulence, to give so many things. But if he gives prem, he becomes under the control of that devotee. So we have to convince Krishna. So that is the Leela of Krishna. So the presence of Krishna. So once we start to feel the presence of Krishna within the heart, we should remember that. And that should be the object of our meditation. The presence of Krishna. That should be the object of our puja, of our upasana. We should offer manmana bhavamad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskaru to that presence of Kṛṣṇa. That is the first, and that creates bhava. Second form of darshan of Kṛṣṇa is vak. Vak means word. So Kṛṣṇa will speak to a devotee. Now he may speak in such a way that you actually hear the voice, but he will also speak as Chaitaguru, giving you instructions, clarifying philosophical points, giving you realization of his name, form, qualities and pastimes. He will give that. That's vak. And then the third is darshan. That means his actual rūpam is manifesting within the consciousness. This is what Arjuna, and in this way Kṛṣṇa is instructing us. I will give you, Arjuna, because you are my devotee and never envious of me, my darshan. So this is very important, to understand the process in that way and to perceive the development of it within our consciousness, within our soul. We should maintain, Kṛṣṇa, please reveal your presence to me. Vasudeva savamiti samahatma sadula. That's very good. Kṛṣṇa is everything. Very nice. I like that. Oh, but now let me go from jnāna to vijñāna. Let me go from the conception to the realization. When I have the conception, I'm like an artist, I'm imagining the universal form. Kṛṣṇa, take me from my manasik murti into realization. And that's at the beginning of the Bhagavatam. Narada Muni, right? He served the Bhakti-Vedantas, son of a maidservant in that Leela. And then he got instruction from the Bhakti-Vedantas on the form of Vishnu. So his mother died by snake bite, so Narada Muni became, before he was actual Narada Muni, he meditated every evening, he was traveling, and then one evening, instead of his manasik murti corrected or manifest or created in the mind for puja, the actual Lord appeared directly within his consciousness. So then he became ecstatic. All his senses, spiritual senses, became enlivened, and he was astounded and astonished at the beauty of Kṛṣṇa. But then Kṛṣṇa went away, and Narada Muni sat down. He tried to meditate again, but the form wouldn't come back. Then Vak, the Supreme Lord, directly spoke. Rather than just Chaitaguru giving ideas and clarifying bhakti, he actually spoke in an, you can say, in an audible sense to the spiritual senses of Narada Muni. And he said, look, Narada Muni, I'm not available to those that are not completely pure in heart, but I've appeared to you to encourage you in your sadhana. So Narada Muni understood that, and that inspired him in his meditation. And you can imagine when he was doing his meditation and bhajan, oh, I've seen that supreme form of the Lord. Now let me conjure that, or let me remember that and put it in my heart and meditate upon that. So this is how we should be. Whatever little realization we're getting, we should accumulate that in the heart, and that should be the object of our meditation. Because any realization of Kṛṣṇa is your permanent asset. There's no loss or diminution. Whatever you realize, you keep in your heart, you accumulate it, and you offer your further sadhana to that accumulation in the heart. Within the heart, very important, because the soul is sitting there, and Shiradakshai Vishnu, Paramatma, is also sitting there. And then we become more and more enlivened because we have the actual methodology of meditating upon Kṛṣṇa. We remember our realizations. Once you realize something about Kṛṣṇa, that is your permanent asset, like I say. but you must bring it to the forefront, not just let it slip away into the back of the memory. You must remember it. And then that is called yoga. There is panchanga bhakti. One is abhimanya, that means you become pure. And then upachaya, you gather the articles of worship. This is for worship of shalagram and so on. Then the third is yog, or bhuta shuddhi. That means before you perform the yajna, number 4 of panchanga bhakti, you consciously unite your consciousness with Kṛṣṇa within the heart. And then you perform the yajna. And then number 5 is swajaya. It means one's own contemplation. Because as you realize Kṛṣṇa in the heart, you will also realize your relationship with Kṛṣṇa. First realize Kṛṣṇa, then your relationship will blossom. So swadhyaya means that your contemplation, and that should be your contemplation as you're chanting and doing the puja. You should identify with that increasing realization of Kṛṣṇa. And when you work in that way, you can make very fine advancement. But you should understand the mythology. That is in the Narada Pancharik Bhakti Sutras, and then there is Pancharatriki Vidhi. So this is specially for Kali Yuga. So in this way, of course Arjuna, and this part is saying Kṛṣṇa is the most ultimate form. But I thought, you all know that because you're all experienced devotees, right? That Kṛṣṇa is the most... Oh, another point here that Prabhupada touches on, but not directly in the purport, is that sometimes people think that Vishnu is the source of Kṛṣṇa, right? There is that idea in some sampradayas. Well, sometimes Kṛṣṇa is the source of Vishnu. But when Kṛṣṇa appears from Vishnu in his two-handed form, that his lila within Braj, in the yuga, is only in Swakiya Ras, because he's appearing from Mahavishnu. So he manifests a married relationship with his Prakriti, Paraprakriti, Srimati Radharani. But when Kṛṣṇa comes from Goloka Vrindavan, which is another way Kṛṣṇa avatars into the world, he displays the relationship of Radharani in Parakiya Ras. You understand all this? Swakiya means married relationship, and Parakriya means paramo relationship. So that is higher, Parakiya Ras. So in Golok Vrindavan, Kṛṣṇa has two-handed form, but is in Parakiya Ras. And the coordinates of the relationship are Vipralamba Sambhog, separation and union. If you look at the Astakala Lila, which you should, Kṛṣṇa Bhavanamrita, Kṛṣṇa Govinda Lilamrita, the Sanat Kumar Samhita, they explain the Astakala Lila of Kṛṣṇa. And you will see that Kṛṣṇa and Radharani are meeting and separating. Right? They meet in the evening, they have the Ras Lila pastime, but then in the morning, Pratak Lila, they separate. Kṛṣṇa goes to Nandagram and Radharani goes to where? Varsana. Yes, so they're meeting and separating. And this Parakiya Ras generates more rasa. So Kṛṣṇa in Golok, Parakiya Bhav is the highest rasa. And that's why Mahaprabhu is the greatest, and the 6 Goswamis are the most merciful, because they, in this Kali Yuga, they have opened access and knowledge of this highest relationship between Radha and Kṛṣṇa. But when Kṛṣṇa comes from Mahavishnu, It's also mentioned here, verse 11, Brahma Samhita. Then, like I say, he is Narayan, husband of Lakshmi. And he is manifesting Swakiya, because that is his relationship in Haridam. That here there is one verse, Goloka namni nididamni tale tatasya devi maheshu haridameshu teshu teshu te te pravava nitya vihichastriyena govindamari purisham tamaham bhajami. First is Durgadam, then Maheshdam, then Haridam, and then Goloka. So Haridam is the place of Narayan. Maheshdam is Parvati and Shiva, and Durgadam is the place of that we're in now. And above that is Goloka. So Goloka is the place of Radha and Krishna in Parikiras. So in verse 11 here it is, Shahasra Sira Purusha Shahasraksha Shahasrapat Sahasra Bahu Vishatma Sahasramsa Sahasrashu. The Lord of the mundane world, Mahavishnu. So Mahavishnu is within the causal ocean. So he is the Lord in that sense, because he's the source. Possesses thousands and thousands of heads, eyes, and hands. Again, this is evocative. We have to understand that this is also saying that he's not restricted in any way, his perception. He is the source of thousands of avatars. So Krishna's avatars into the material world generally are coming from Mahavishnu. And sometimes, like I say, he manifests within one of the material universes in a particular Divya Yuga as Krishna. But sometimes he comes directly from Golok. You understand? There is Golok, and then there is the Chatuvyuha, and then there is another Chatuvyuha expanded from that, and Mahavishnu is Shankarshan. There's Vasudeva, Shankarshan, Aniruddha, Pradyumna. No, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. So what are they doing? What is that Chatuvyuha? Well, the actions and consciousness of the living entity are in 4 phases. He's conscious, he's considering, he's deciding, and then he's performing action. So each aspect of that is supervised and enabled by Krishna. So Vasudeva is the basis of Chit. And then Shankarshan is the basis of Sat aspect of the soul. He's supervising that. And then decision, Sankalp, Vikalp, that is under Pradyumna. And then Aniruddha is facilitating the actions. What does this mean? This means that at every stage of our existence, we are dependent upon the Supreme Lord. And these are the expansions of the Supreme Lord which supervise those particular 4 aspects of our existence. So that expands down to the material world, and in the same way, Vasudeva, Shankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, they facilitate the thinking, feeling, willing, and actions. Everything rests upon Krishna. So from Shankarshan in that second Chatuvyuha, that is Mahavishnu. So he is incarnating into the material energy as Leela. He's the source of thousands of avatars in his thousands of subjective portions. He is the creator of thousands of individual souls. So Mahavishnu, here it explained, is the source of the Tatastha Shakti Jiva. The Tatastha Shakti Jiva, Tatastha, he accepts the Purusha or he rejects Mahavishnu. If he rejects Mahavishnu, goes into the Maya Shakti. If he accepts Mahavishnu, when he awakens from Susupti, then he enters the spiritual world, and his relationship with Kṛṣṇa blossoms, and he becomes an eternal resident of the spiritual world. But some living entities, some jivas, are manifest within Narayan Loka. They're not faced with that choice, and they are naturally the devotees of Hari. And then some living entities are manifest for Leela within Goloka, and they are naturally the residents of Goloka. But then there are a third quality section of jivas, Tatastha Shakti jivas, manifest as here, Sahasrashu, that are manifest from Mahavishnu. They have the choice to go to the material energy of this and that. But we're going over many subjects now, aren't we? A little too fast. I hope you were able to follow. So anyway, this is about the form of Kṛṣṇa, but then it just occurred to me, you're all very knowledgeable, the form of Kṛṣṇa, Bhagavan, 6 basic opulences. So let's go a little further, because people have form, right? We all have form. But what about your personality? I see you, but I want to know, what's your personality? That is going a bit more intimate. So here, in chapter 26 of Jivadharma, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Rasa-tattva, Principles of Spiritual Mellow. So this is about the 4 basic types of personality that you can find in Kṛṣṇa Leela. And this is the Jivadharma. Everyone should study Jivadharma. We're just reprinting it. I published this years ago. They haven't got stock, so we're going to print it again. Yes. Now, in the Nectar of Devotion, it's explained 64 qualities of Kṛṣṇa are there, right? You all know that. Given by Rupa Goswami. Kṛṣṇa is achintya. He has unlimited qualities in depth and number, but 64 categories are given by Rupa Goswami for our comprehension. So, Prajanath asks the Goswami, his guru, we have heard that the 64 qualities of Kṛṣṇa, we have heard of that from Gurudev. Is there anything more you would like to tell me of this subject? So 64 qualities are given by Kṛṣṇa. We know the final 4 are the most powerful, Mathura, Vasya, so on and so forth. Right. So then Goswami answered, Sri Kṛṣṇa is the repository of unlimited excellence, which are manifest in him to an absolute degree. Absolute means independent. Like I say, Kṛṣṇa is completely independent. Nothing can force him to act. He acts out of his mercy. But his degree of opulence is unlimited. Right? Which are manifest to him, from him in an absolute degree. Yet, because of the varieties on the absolute platform, the excellences of Kṛṣṇa are displayed in different intensities. You understand that? He has unlimited qualities, but according to the situation, the Leela, in Dwarka, the excellences are Purna, complete, Dwarka Leela. In Mathura, the excellences are Purnatara, more complete. And in Gokula Vrindavan, the excellences are Purnatama, most complete. So Vrindavan, Goloka Vrindavan, Gokul Vrindavan, the excellences, the qualities, his beauty, his pastimes, his wit, his intelligence, his skill, that is most manifest in Goloka and Gokul. According to the time, place, and mood of the Leela, the manifestation of the excellences and the character of Sri Kṛṣṇa also vary correspondingly. In his Leela, Kṛṣṇa is always the Nayaka. hero, of which there are 4 types. So this is what the 4 different aspects of Krishna's personality. One comes forward at one time, one comes forward at another time, according to the Leela. Right? 4 types. Dhirodata, Dhira Lalita, Dhira Prashanta, and Dhirodatta. Respected Goswami, kindly describe Dhirodatta Nayaka. The Dhirodatta Nayaka, so this is Krishna's personality. This is all about Krishna's form, but let's understand his personality with this information. We'll get more information. The Dhirodatta Nayaka is naturally very grave, gentle, forgiving, merciful, compassionate, determined, humble, highly qualified, chivalrous, and physically attractive. So Dhirodatta is like the leader. Krishna is the leader. He's the most beautiful and attractive, but a leader has to be grave. You know, he has to have a certain dignity. You can't be a joker and be a big leader, right? You know, politicians, even in this Monday world, they try to, yes, I agree. They don't freak out and start a fight. Sometimes they do, but then they lose their dignity. But this, Dhirodatta, is Krishna as the leader by his dignity and intelligence and compassion. But he's forgiving, he's not exploitative at the same time. So that aspect comes forward in the Leela. For instance, in Kurukshetra, when he met the gopis and Radharani at different times. Dear Goswami, kindly describe the Dhira Lalita. Goswami says, the Dhira Lalita Nayaka, Nayaka means hero, attractive hero, is naturally funny, right? So this is Krishna when he's relating with the cowherd boys, the gopis, when he's in a joyful mood, you can say, is naturally funny, witty, and expert in joking, ever full of youthfulness, a relisher of rasa, very submissive to his lovers, and extremely confident of himself, and thus freed from all anxieties. So that's Dhira Lalita. This aspect of Krishna comes forward. And in the Ras Leela we see that. He's joking in this way. Oh, you gopis, why have you come out here in the night? The forest is full of wild animals. And why have you left your home? You should go back. This is the Dhira Lalita. He's telling, don't stay. You've come here to dance with me in the moonlight? What do you think your mother and father think of that? They go, Krishna, we heard you, we want to serve you. So he's teasing. You see, this is Dhira Lalita, this is Krishna making. So you can, when you read the Leela of Krishna,